Check, check. Hey, welcome to Off the Record. This is a new live stream uh, sponsored by HackerHaus. The concept behind Off the Record is just a chance for us to do a live stream every other week. If you've been watching the YouTube channel so far, we've had a couple of really great live shows. The first one was a panel discussion with a bunch of great folks about how cybersecurity is really important for the SMB segment of the world, something that HackerHaus really focuses on as a company. And then the last one we had was with Justin Mehrhoff, and we talked about accessibility in cybersecurity, which is something that's really important. My goals, or one of my goals here, is to put out content like that as often as we can find guests and really lean into giving back to the cyber community and just providing value where we can. The company is and was founded by people who are very much connected to the cyber community. Ushi and Steve got married at DEF CON, so yeah, it's a pleasure to work with such a cool team. Also, Nick, who was part of InfoSec Whiskey. Really awesome group of people. So we love giving back to the cyber community. We really care about providing high quality security services to small and medium sized companies, especially those who have high risk. So I had the idea to do another stream on the off weeks called Off the Record. And this will generally be myself, other members of the HackerHaus team, any of our friends from the community who want to stop by. If you're watching this right now and you want to jump into the live stream, just send me a message and I'll get you the link. But it'll just give us a chance to hang out, share some InfoSec news, and yeah, let me reach out to someone here who's trying to get in. Of course, I set this up very complexly. So as we go on, this will get better and better as far as the production value goes. Still kind of experimenting with the format, and should be able to invite people with this link here. But I'm getting a report that it's asking for a password. And if you're watching this later, you won't even see this part because I'll probably edit this out. All right, give me just a minute. I'm going to transition back to the waiting screen and get this guest situation squared away, and then I'll be back.
really was. I mean, even in hackers, they were joking about the passwords, right? I mean, I think that was the length of security at the point. Um, but through my journey, I've just been constantly learning, and I think that's what kind of pulled me to Eddie is that we're forever learners, regardless of age, and especially with our age and what field we're in. You know, if you take one step, you know, of not learning, you're going to be behind. So just always liked what he's been doing and being open with sharing to other people, because that's another thing. I don't like siloing information. I can give you the same playbook that I use and we're going to do it differently. So I'm not really, you know, I'm not going against anyone. I think we can all, you know, do well and share information.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm JB. I'm still pretty new to this. I've been working in this space for about a little bit over a year now.
Oh, nice.
Um, yeah. I met Eddie at he said at Wild West Hackin' Fest at the sports bar. I was grabbing a beer and I forgot how the introduction started, but I was like, "Hey, like I work in watch and jewelry repair, and this is like I'm thinking about making this move into cybersecurity." And
Wow.
yeah, and then the first thing he said was like, "Yeah, man, you should talk about that at a conference, and I'll
Oh
help you
man,
write the CFP for that." I was like,
What?
"Dude, I
That
don't
was
even
your
know what the fuck
first?
up." Yeah,
That's crazy.
I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I don't even work here. Like, I just came to this conference and thought that'd be a cool experience.
Right.
Um, yeah, and that was kind of like the start. And then, like a little bit after that, I met another friend of ours, Wade Wells, who
Okay. Yeah.
um
I'm
who
aware.
also
Yep.
said you should come give a talk at B-sides. And so like Eddie helped me put together the thing. He gave me like some nice pep talks before the whole yeah. So like yeah, big props to Eddie, man. Like I am now working in this industry and I wouldn't be here without his help, honestly.
that's crazy. And like
Yeah.
really like all I'm good at doing is finding and meeting cool people and just giving them like the slightest nudge. Like I didn't do any of that. It's like you're amazing. So yeah, I'm glad we met, and Justin too. I'm glad that we are colleagues. And I
Totally.
mentioned in the introduction earlier, and just so you guys know, I'm not sure how many people are actually watching because this is a brand new thing. So it's probably just going to be the three of us chilling right now, but that's cool. I mentioned that we did a live webinar with Justin last week about accessibility. So it's something that we really care about. Uh, what is some news going on right now or anything in the cyber world? Justin, I know you're kind of in the middle of a career transition, so uh yeah, the job market is really bad. Are there any like indications that things are going to change?
I don't know that as much, but one thing that I've been paying attention to even before I went into the market is AI, and a new term that I learned recently. I think everyone is aware of vibe coding and
Hmm.
what the potential risks there are from a security standpoint. Well, now, and I recently posted an article about an article on this. The newer thing, I think it was already kind of starting, but it's forming. Is called swarm coding.
Hmm.
So it's
Never heard that
combining
one.
all the yeah, it's combining all those, and you're a designer developer is in a sense architecting. So think think of a product lead, and instead of disseminating the things down to their front end, their back end developer, whatever, that can all be done in swarm coding, like from design to a beta can completely be done by agents.
Let's see.
um,
I'm looking it up
I
right
can send,
now.
yeah, I'll send you the article. It was crazy. I because but again, it's one of those things like, oh, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like it, of course. Yeah.
Says swarm programming can refer to agile team-based swarming, where a team focuses collectively on a single task. Okay, so I've heard of partner programming before. So
Mhm.
this is like teams of people
Or agents, teams or agents, and or both. Right.
vibe coding on a super complex project at the same time.
Yes.
That's
And how I
scary.
found it
Yeah.
is I got this article that I read, and there was a guy who was flying, and he created his mock-up
Yeah, I think I
while
found the
in
article.
while in flight. So in my brain goes, okay, where was that tested? Where's the IAC scans? Where's the SAS scans? Where's meeting with, okay, what are you bringing on, and what are the security implications or not of this? When was that taken in consideration? Because even with
Yeah.
vibe coding, I had a friend who is not a developer, a tech person at all, really. And he said, well, I'm going to be creating my new website doing vibe coding, because I was going to offer him, some security consulting. I said, well, when you vibe code it, make sure that you prompt to check for security, because if
Mhm.
not, you're going to be creating a problem.
Yeah, it says on his flight, he built over 50 React components, a mock API. Would normally take a human team 18 days. He did it in 6 hours, and it was like fully documented, tested, had a fully secure framework,
Yeah, but
Docker
tested, QA
configurations.
tested or security tested,
It
or
says
both. It
fully
doesn't.
fully tested and secured application framework. Yeah, I guess we don't know exactly what that means.
Right. I mean, if it was, then great. But I think if we're not aware of this type of technology being used by our devers, right, then we're going to be behind the curve, because a lot of people in security are not dev minded, and they have not been developers. I have not been a developer, but I think where I have been pretty successful is building those relationships with the people doing it, so that they know that I'm working with them, not against them. So I know what they're building.
I've never worked. I mean, technically, I have worked as a developer. At one of my previous roles, I developed CTF challenges.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll
so
design and develop.
yeah, I was a hardcore vibe coder there. Like I had everything built right into VS Code to help me do everything. But yeah, nothing I was doing was like super mission critical. And if players found a vulnerability in my code and exploited it, like, that's fine. It's a CTF. So yeah,
Yeah, true.
super scary.
But with the market, I think it's been different opinions. So I've heard that, and there's this one article that I talked about as well, where, well, it was a video. This person did some research on a lot of people talking about this topic, like that AI is going to take our roles away. Well, they also said that when cloud came. Like, I think it's all about adapting to the technology and being aware. That's why I wanted to share about that swarm coding, because I don't think that term is getting around in the security circles quick enough.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a new one for me.
Yeah.
Uh, Another thing that I've been looking at when it comes to AI in regards to social engineering attacks is like this. I've talked about this before on my podcast, but like the idea of spear phishing at scale, which is
Oh
kind of like
God.
horrifying. Like, and imagine like deep fake spear phishing at scale. Like, that's horrifying.
And that's another funny thing too. I'm glad that you brought that up. So a lot of people, when they are planning their protection or plan to mitigate or reduce spear phishing, generally at an organization, they're going to be protecting the air quote leadership, right? Or the most attacked person per se, right? But again, this is where I think sociology comes into play here. And I love sociology, so I think that's why it helps me.
Right.
Is you shouldn't only be protecting the the chief HR person or the HR director, their team needs to be protected too. And I'll give an example. I was in at a location years back where someone was phishing, but it was they were acting as the CEO, asking to send all the W-2s for review. But they didn't send it to the HR director. They sent it to the HR analyst. Because she has the access, right? Or but they have the access, but they don't necessarily, they're not in a leader, you know what I mean? Of what most people would think to spearfish. So you got to remember, spearfishing protection is around who has access. So I don't need to go after the infra and ops director. I need to go after the cloud engineer that's on his team. I don't need to go after the product lead of a SaaS product. I need to go to the head dever or members of that team, because they're going to have rights to then go and then scale.
Yeah. I used to be a teacher, and I would tell my students, look, you really have to be into this kind of stuff, because our field changes so quickly and so often. These examples that we're talking about are really just completely shattering the current like meta when it comes to security, and we're having to rewrite all of our playbooks, because like you said, like, yeah, spearfishing awareness shouldn't be just implemented to like executives and really like high value targets, because with using AI and LLMs to do these types of attacks at scale, it takes all the like the labor and the overhead, because for like a normal attacker to do a spearfishing attack, there's a lot of OSINT and there's a lot of reconnaissance and there's a lot of like groundwork. But I think we're getting to a point where none of everything is scalable now. And yeah, any people that have access that aren't seen as traditional targets are going to start being targeted. And yeah, we're gonna have to rethink everything.
Now think about OSINT in now knowing what you know what swarm coding is.
Yeah.
You don't need 18 days, 30 days to plot against a company or multiple companies. You could do it in hours, and you can fully get a scrape. I mean, hopefully this isn't a negative thing to put out there, but when I'm looking at jobs and I'm looking at the security team, I do light OSINT, where I look at public information. I look at their trust centers. I look at their security page of the organization. And then I go to LinkedIn. And 9 times out of 10, people will talk about the stack that they work on. It's right there.
Yeah, I'm just like imagining this like this scenario, which I'm sure will be reality, where it's like we have APTs out there who are already operating like at an enterprise level of like organization and effectiveness, and they're going to be able to essentially script out attacks where these like agentic, LLMs will do the recon for you. They'll do the OSINT for you. They'll look at the attack surface. They'll scan for potential vulnerabilities. They'll develop malware that
Right.
utilizes the vulnerabilities that it found and tries to evade any type of like detection that it's able to gain using, like you said, social media and open source intelligence. And
he does exist.
Josh Mason's here.
Oh.
Hey.
Josh, what's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Nice.
Fellow pro micer, what's up?
Right? I'm like turning down his volume right now. He sounds so good. Josh,
We
what
were
have you
just
been up
talking-
to?
How are you all doing?
Oh God.
Okay, Batman. Okay, Batman. We were just talking about swarm coding, and utilizing swarm coding from an OSINT perspective is going to be a lot easier.
Interesting.
So if you're not familiar with
I don't know swarm coding.
I wasn't. It's this like it's a concept that comes from development where it's like a team of people will simultaneously like work on a project. But now we have all of
Okay.
these like these
Agents
AI
and people.
agents who can vibe code, autonomously, and then you just like dedicate a swarm of them. And we shared an article of this guy who he was on a flight to like Iceland or something, in 6 hours he developed like a complete application with APIs and testing and full like application frameworks and just complete insanity that's possible these days.
Whoa.
So
That is pretty
we're
impressive.
we're envisioning different like doomsday scenarios when APTs will inevitably start using this technology to just like hit people at scale with like highly customized attacks, right?
Especially OSINT,
Yes and
though.
no. Like, because I don't know. It's
Okay.
not the like the things that think about like the big attacks.
Right.
They aren't that sophisticated.
But this isn't
You don't need-
sophisticated.
Yeah, you don't need like a whole bunch of firepower.
Right,
it
but
is
Josh,
stands in social engineering.
but getting five different agents to go, one go do OSINT, the other one to build LinkedIn pages, the other one to do the contacting, that can all be done in like an hour.
True, but you don't even need that.
I mean, fair, but it saves time. So
Yeah,
you
like
oh,
yeah,
you know what?
one
I could
person
go get a
and-
rocket launcher, but if I needed $5,
true.
like I got
I
a knife. Like,
but now you have 100
get
knives to
$5.
send out there.
Like-
now you have 100 knives to send out there to get $5 from 100 people, where you could only do it one at a time because you're just like one guy with a knife. But with swarms of agents, now
Right.
we're able to. Now we're sending out 1,000 knives, and like you said, it's not that complicated. But we're talking about exploiting these attacks at scale. That is much more than you could do by yourself. Now you're a whole APT group, just one guy.
yes. Right. You could orchestrate it.
but I mean, like MGM, like that wasn't an APT group required to take that down. Shit, even
Sure.
Colonial Pipeline wasn't an APT group to take that down.
No, but that same person could. No, and I'm with you, Joe. I'm with you.
Like,
But the availability of this is very cheap and is very accessible.
true.
So they can amp those type of attacks up and do more of them.
But like the defense, what like
Okay,
cool.
go.
Like, what does that change?
Frequency, and it takes down the comprehension level to be able to pull them off.
Yeah, someone like me could pull off a more sophisticated attack, and like I don't have an engineering or a development background, but with vibe coding, yeah, and even I could do some crazy stuff. And like you said, yeah, I'm a guy who has social engineering skills, so I could pull off a Colonial Pipeline or some of these attacks, right? But
If you if you know where to go and get like go and buy like lists of breach passwords and credentials and just have those ready, and then be ready to pray and spray, and then know what to do once you land somewhere, and then be able to like process the ransomware, or be able to utilize a ransomware as a service, and then be ready to go with that when you hit. You don't need to be that sophisticated.
okay, well,
I
Josh
don't
says we're all safe, so nobody worry out
You're not
there.
safe. We're effed. We're still effed. Like, I don't know. I still
I
think
like hearing the different opinions for sure.
it's like when like shit. The F-35 was like brand new. Like when I was in college I went to the Air Force Academy. We they had this big plywood and like big wooden F-35 that I think was more functional than the existing F-35 that they put like in the middle of the campus. And they told us like don't touch it. So we definitely fucking touched it.
Yeah.
We all got in like a lot of fucking trouble for it. Um, sorry, I can stop that. I don't want you to get demonetized.
I don't think we're monetized, and I don't really
Okay,
care.
cool.
Like, Hacker House doesn't give a fuck. We're kind of punk rock, so
Sick. Okay.
say whatever you want.
Yeah. But like there was all this concern of 5th generation fighters and all of like, okay, what will the next war look like? Well, we were starting our military careers at that point, and the next war was on the ground against people with AK-47s that looked a lot like the previous 40 years of war.
Oh man.
And so like,
And think about the
so,
way
like there's all these great weapons. That's great. However, like even now, the current like face of war is like rockets and drones.
Yeah, I was gonna say the whole warfare meta has changed over the past few years, where it's like, you know, I saw this meme where it was like this. He looked like one of those like ultra right wing guys talking about like how like soldiers need to be like buff and strong, and it's like somebody had commented like, wow, way to show how out of touch you are with modern warfare, like thinking that like you need to be like a buff soldier. Like it's like technology and drones, it's like these nerds that are like they have like hundreds of confirmed kills. Like everything about warfare has changed with drones. I've seen some crazy stuff out of Ukraine.
Well, and it's just like that, they're still creating amazing technology. Like new fighters are in development. Doesn't matter. Probably, maybe. But in that same way, like, what is the actual nearest threat?
Yeah.
What is the threat? And in that sense, it's the same shit it has been for the last 20 years. Like, what was
Jimmy? What do you think? You're being very quiet.
Yeah, I think I agree with Josh on this, and I'm not super paranoid or worried about like agents making it any more difficult than it is already. They still have to traverse the kill chain, and so you can have all this stuff, but like, yeah, I don't think it really changes the game. Like, it's literally just like rotate credentials, patch your stuff, and you're gonna be like pretty much good from a lot of these things.
I want to share this. I don't know if you guys have
You
seen.
need
I'm
the
gonna
hygiene agents to help your team is basically what you need to build.
Okay, did you guys hear about block blasters? Does that ring any bells?
No.
So there was a Steam game called Block Blasters. It's a 2D platformer. I'm sharing it on the stream. I don't know if you guys can see
I can
my
see
shared
it.
screen. Okay, yeah, it's been on there. Looks like after there was a patch on August 30th. Basically, like it's full of malware. And this article by G Data Software is like really good because it goes through like the bat file. It goes through all of
wow.
like goes through all the code. It goes through all of like the indicators. Yeah, people were installing this game from the Steam library, and it was stealing crypto wallet data and installing malware. And there was a streamer doing a charity stream to raise money for like their cancer treatment, and someone spearphished them into installing this malware from Steam, played the game, drained their crypto account of like 30K. Luckily, there was like a philanthropist who was able to give them the money back. And uh, the attackers, there's some really interesting stuff going on out there. But yeah, like these attackers were like reaching out to Twitch streamers and trying to get them to play the game on stream just so they would install it and then get infected. Completely insane. Box Swapper is in the chat. Hey, how's it going? That's Nick.
But to Josh's point, what we were also talking about a little bit earlier is there was a video that I watched on YouTube. It came out about a month or two ago, where they were going over, is AI going to take over cyber roles? And there's been a lot of talk and fear that it would. But to your point, it's like they also thought that when SaaS was coming, they also thought that when the internet came, like it's you have to just roll with it. I think when I was talking about Swarm, it's more we need as new types of attack patterns come and could be leveraged from a developer design perspective is just that awareness. I'm not saying they're all going to do that, but if it's that easy to do it for someone to build what he built in a 6-hour flight, like just my brain just goes to imagine if that was an attacker.
Dude, what, 120 years ago, the farrier industry was like,
What is that?
Horseshoes,
Okay.
taking care of horses.
Sorry, I'm from California,
And
bro.
black, like, well, yeah, but like, you had trains and you had horses, right?
Right.
The like Gold Rush all the way up until Model 2 showed up. Like, you had horses and you had trains, and you had people who took care of the horses, and you had people who took care of the wagons. And when cars showed up, everyone's like, well, what about all of these jobs? And yeah, they went away. It was a big thing in New York City. Like, half the city was like, we will outlaw cars, and they passed laws outlawing cars for a while because they thought they were going to lose jobs, and then they did. They lost a ton of jobs. And could you imagine the idea of not having cars?
Right.
I dream of that.
And like, well, yeah, me too. I'm with you.
Well, even sooner, even more
But
recent,
that's different.
Virtual meetings, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like that at first, and like, yes, there are in-person meetings, but
Oh my god, yeah.
for the most part, they're this.
Boxwhopper in the chat mentioned that he thinks there's going to be an initial high rate of turnover. Well, because a lot of all the VC money right now is going to AI plays, and a lot of companies are they're betting on that, and we've seen a lot of layoffs, and we've seen a lot of companies doing reduction in force, and yeah, Boxwhopper says he thinks that it will be initially like a big shift towards that, and then once a few high-profile breaches happen, major hacks, that the pendulum will swing back the other way. What do you guys think about that?
It'll be interesting. Wade and I have interviewed a bunch of folks who were trying to do blue team stuff with AI, all the way from source code up to threat intel, up to automation in response. And it's the same thing as all the scanning. There used to be a day long time ago where like you couldn't nmap. You had to send individual packets and decode the responses. So like, but now you can just get work done. Spend the time thinking.
I'm very to take a different side of this coin. I'm very pessimistic about this, and I think we're toast. And I've heard the analogies that it's like horses, and it's like the Industrial Revolution, and but it's so different than that, because they're automating all of the entry level jobs first, and the mid-level jobs are just right around the corner. As a former teacher, I can't imagine that there will be human teachers for very much longer, because there will be AI teachers that can teach to each individual student perfectly for their learning style, and why wouldn't we want that? And yeah, I think we're toast, and I don't know what we're all going to do when they replace us with AI. What jobs are we going to go to? What will be left?
I'm not worried
There will
about
be
myself,
something.
actually.
Fixing
think
watches.
You're good. Fixing watches.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Robots
I'm
will
not
be
going
able
back
to
to
do
that.
that.
Yeah, I'm not going back to that, but I'm pretty confident that I'll be around.
I don't know.
working
I've never
stuff.
done it. Sounds cool. I'll give
It's
it a try.
pretty easy. I could teach you in like
Not
20
against
minutes,
it.
Josh.
All right.
It's easier than picking a lock.
Depends on the lock.
Again,
I don't
all
know.
relative, right?
Today, someone can create an AI that is like better at selling than a human being. Like,
Bro,
I
they
will
will
happily
be.
retire. I will move on to a sailboat and I will just
Dude,
get a
sales and
suntan
marketing.
and drink myself oblivion.
Go on Reddit. Go on
Alcoholic.
Reddit. Look at the
Alcoholic.
marketing and the sales subs. Like people are already being replaced by AI. Like it just takes like even at HackerHaus, like I do all the sales, marketing, and social media by myself as one guy, and because I have all these tools. Like we don't need. And eventually they're just going to be able to replace me with an AI that will be able to do my complete job for me perfectly.
When?
Like we're not doing rocket science, you know?
Yeah.
Just saying. We all want to be optimistic and think that things are going to work out, but I don't know, man. Life's kind of bleak right now. Things are challenging out there.
Yeah.
I need more hope in my life. I desperately want to be wrong, but like capitalism is a thing, right? And like it's a system that is consuming itself, and you know what are we going to do like when all companies are just like one guy who just owns a bunch of agents who do everything? What will be the point of even being in business when there are no employees to make money to buy services anymore? You know, like it just seems like it's such a like an what's the snake that eats itself, the Ouroboros? Like it just seems like we're right in the middle of that, and we're racing to that end. And I see very few companies that are pushing back on that.
I get that. I'm really sad I don't have you on uh the D&D campaign because there's a lot of like I'm first and foremost a philosopher and then a teacher and then
Yeah.
whatever this is that I do nowadays. And so like the things that we're discussing
Tell
able to be
everyone
replaced
tell
by
everyone about the
technology.
D&D campaign. Tell everyone about the campaign. Tell everyone about the
So we
idea.
just finished session 3 on Sunday. It is it's a D&D campaign. Currently I've got actually I have it pulled up on another window. 10 players in there. I haven't had more than 8 players in a session. Just because people have been traveling to conferences or away from conferences or been in other sessions. But got like Will why can I not remember his last name?
Do you
I've
have
got
any
a couple of Cizzos. I've got like Jesus. I've got an easier way of doing this. If I just pull
do you
up
have any
something funny.
episodes out yet, or are you still putting it together?
I'm still editing. I want to do a bunch of editing and have them like ready to go. That way I can just serialize them
Beautiful.
and have them ready to go.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I was going to be on there, but you had so many players. I was like, I'm just going to do Josh a favor and not be like the 10th player. So like you can
No,
actually
like,
get through the story.
it actually like it works really well. It's one of those where I've worried that I'm way off topic, but whatever, you drive this session as you want. This is yours. Um I worry that like there's not enough time to engage with everyone in the session, but everyone's enjoying it. And we get through the storyline, and I feel like a few people like um kind of take the lead on the engagement. And so it's taking something from me to like play the instructor, play the professor, play the like a better DM and like
Can you bring me in as an
reach out.
NPC like down in the story or something? Like
You'll be a guest. Wade's
Okay.
already said he's gonna be a guest, and like Justin and Jibby, like we'll bring you
Hell
guys
yeah.
in, and
Hell yeah.
like there's gonna be my goal with this is that it
Jimmy doesn't seem like the D&D
we
type.
do a
Just
few hundred episodes of this, that this goes on for a long freaking time.
Jimmy, you down to nerd out, dude?
I'm down for everything, man.
Oh yeah.
one of like, I mean, this shouldn't have surprised me how much the Venn diagram of cyber and D&D
No, that
looks
should not have
like
surprised you at all. That's
looks
because
like
you're
an
you're a
egg.
cool cool guy. You're like a pilot from the Air Force who found cybersecurity. The
I'm a
rest of us
band
are
nerd.
we're okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm a band nerd Eagle Scout.
What instrument did you play?
I played trumpet
Do you
and
still play
baritone
it?
before that. No.
You have one.
You all
right
see?
there.
I've got a Irish whistle.
Can you play
did you all
the
like-
theme from Titanic? Sorry, Justin. Go ahead.
Oh, you're fine.
Shit.
Did you all see Jason Kelsey was with the Ravens band playing? I think he was. I don't know if he was on a sax, but it was some brass instrument.
He was
'Cause
with
played in
the
high
Ra-
school.
Eagles.
No, he's retired. He went and played in their band just for I think a lark. Like I don't.
Okay.
he was
Well,
like-
I mean, but
He
he
was
lives
on
in
the
Philly.
Eagles.
No. Yes, yeah, right. But
Okay.
he just recently at a game because I think he's an announcer now. He went and played in the
okay.
Ravens band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh. He's wild like that. There's like a New Year's Day parade in Philly. That is like the Eddie, you get this, and Jibby probably the Rose Parade. Like if you try to explain the Rose Parade to people who aren't from California, they're like,
Yeah.
what? There's a parade
It's
in
kind of
Philly
like the
on New
Macy's Day
Year's
Parade, but it's
that
very
if you
specific.
explain it to people, it also makes no sense at all. Basically, you all dress up. Everyone dresses up in big dresses and dances through Philly, in
That's
theme,
weird. Okay.
and gets really, really drunk. And Jason Kelsey, I think for like the last 8 years or so, maybe 18 years or so, has led like a group.
And they
That
just
parade.
okay. Philly is an interesting place. I've never been.
Philly's
there
an
before.
interesting place.
I know they say
Like
John
Monty Python.
and
Hey, what's the silly
yeah.
place?
I know people from Philly are very, very. It's a big part of their identity to be from Philadelphia. I've thought about if I'm the same way when it comes to California, and I'm not really. Like I live in Utah right now. I definitely feel more attached to my California identity here because Utahns hate people from California. So
Really?
because we're kind of invading their state. The tech locusts are here.
There's a lot
and-
of tech in Utah.
Yeah, I live right by what we call Silicon Slopes.
They're
so,
angry that you're invading their state.
Yeah, all of us
Hmm.
leftists from bringing our democratic.
Like you
and-
moved there and just brought your whole culture and probably your religion and or lack of religion and just forced it upon people whether they liked it or not.
Sorry.
With
Sorry
little
for
disregard for whoever was there before.
yeah.
Anyway,
It's funny. Anyways, so before we wrap up, is there anything you guys are working on that you want to promote or talk about? I mean, I appreciate you hanging out with me. It's great to see you guys. I'm gonna do these like casual streams every other Wednesday. Normally Ushi or Nick, who's in the chat right now, will be on from the HackerHaus team, and yeah, we just want to create some fun content and talk about what's going on and what people are thinking about right now. Jibby, you've been pretty quiet. What do you have coming up? Do you have any talks or any conferences that you'll be at?
Yep. I have a workshop I'm doing for DEF CON.
Nice.
I'll be in
Nice.
San Diego with Wade for that.
Heck yeah.
Little threat hunting thing. And that'll be the last one
gonna be
for a while, hopefully.
are you going to be at Deadwood, Jibby?
I'm not. No.
Okay.
I've been away like every month of this year, and I'm like, nah, I'm gonna spend time with my kid and wife. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm going to be speaking at a white collar crime conference next week.
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah, it's definitely strange.
Is Martha
That-
Stewart going to be there?
I hope so.
I
No,
thought that gonna make a laugh.
I met this guy named John Gill. He's like he runs this like certified fraud investigators organization, and I was on their podcast called Fraud Talk, and kind of talked about some of my criminal history, and they invited me to speak at their conference. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Never would have imagined in my entire life that people would be interested in hearing my story of crime, but they did. My talk from CypherCon came out. I just want to promote this, dude. Like, I'm so proud of like my talk from CypherCon. Yeah, I'm considering never doing that talk again, just because I don't know if I'll be able to top that. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever like done a talk multiple times and then you finally get to a point where you just like feel like you nailed it. I got that feeling after CypherCon. So yeah, if you're out there and you want to hear about my criminal history, check out my talk from CypherCon. I'm super proud of it. So I'm going to give a version of that talk to the white collar crime conference, and I'm gonna tailor it more specific to that audience. But yeah, man, I'm glad we're friends, and glad to know all of you and have yeah, just been part of this like cyber community. It's a big deal. Nick in the chat, Box Swapper, he's a he's somebody you'd probably want to meet, Josh. He'll be at Deadwood because he lives there, and he's always he used to do the InfoSec Whiskey podcast with Ushi, who is our founder. And he's also an Air Force veteran, so you guys will be able to
Sweet.
to talk about planes and shit, right?
Sick. We get drunk and talk with our hands.
Is that an Air Force stereotype that you talk? Because I'm Italian and we talk with our hands too.
You know,
I think
that's
it's military.
Look at this sort of thing. It's like, so there it was, and like, then like I turned left, and then like, we were over there. Yeah.
In the Army, when you have
Probably a fighter
instructor
pilot.
training, they try to tell you not to do the directing hand as much when you're talking.
Heard about the knife hand,
The knife,
That's like
yeah.
a drill instructor thing.
Yep.
So Nick says you're a pilot, so you all talk like that. Now, see, you know, you guys were from
Really
the
hard to talk
military.
about flying without like being like, and then let me put that.
And I went inverted.
Did
Go
you call?
inverted to C-130.
Did you call the ball and let him
can't
fly
talk
right by? Classified.
G-14.
Do you guys all sit in a circle and watch Top Gun together?
Not what happens in college.
So you guys were all off in the military.
And then we
being
pushed around
cool,
at F-35. Got in trouble.
and me and Jibby were out
Like, I
here
came
on
up
the
to us with a
streets.
knife
Okay.
hand.
we were at you guys were in the military. Me and Jibby were at Sidewalk University, you know, out here just like I actually Jimmy probably hates when I bring this up, but he's a famous movie star, and it's crazy that he thinks that we're cool when he's like the actual cool person.
Movie star.
I'm not cool at all, man.
What movie?
He's got an IMDb page.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, all like really like bad like B movies, basically.
But that's
More than
amazing.
a Zero movie.
I would love to be like just a background extra in some movies. That would just be so much fun.
Oh
Maybe
man, you
you
come
can
do
go
that in
on
LA.
Ins-
It's horrible.
Maybe you
It's
can work
like,
on
you sit
Inside
around
Man.
all day
for
doing
Nova
nothing.
Corps.
What is Inside Man?
It's their movie series type about phishing and inside threats that they make. I think they have like 4 or 5 seasons.
Who does this?
No before.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I'll have to check that
Fully-
out. That's interesting.
It's fully produced.
I'm not surprised. Yeah. Cool. All right. Anyone have anything else before we wrap this up? Cool. Well, thank you guys for joining for Off the Record. For those of you who are watching, come back in a couple weeks. I plan on doing this every other week, and I'm going to share the link with all my friends and anyone who wants to be part of the peanut gallery. Just hit me up online, and we'll shoot the shit and talk about cyber news and yeah.
Shit, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
All right.
Thank you all.
Yeah, see you guys later.
Bye, all.
Cheers.